are listening to the Space-Tastic Mysteries podcast. We are in week 18 of Anna Gale Line's latest novel, The Lightyears, involving a mobile Alliance surgical hospital battling an epidemic at the front lines of the Freedom Alliance Crimson Fleet War. This is episode 18, Keeping Secrets. If you have not subscribed, do so now, and if you are on YouTube, hit the bell to be notified of new episodes.
Because you love me. Because I love you. You say you love me, but you won't marry me. Let's talk about that. Since Zeb B is coming on board to be my first mate and our partnership will be done by the end of this case, I will be partnered with Victor and you, with Zeb B. And Patrick will be reassigned. Graham did not like his bedside manner when he broke the news to me about my hand. Confidence is one thing, arrogance is quite another. He should be reassigned. What does that have to do with you not marrying me? I will tell you what concerns me. I don't like our enemies finding out we are married because they will come after you to get to me, or vice versa. I don't want Zariah or any of the other children in my care growing up without a parent or guardian. We can get married secretly. No one has to know but the kids. We can continue having me assigned to my current quarters, but I will sleep in your bed with you. Okay, since we are on the same page, after this case is done, we can go away to a nearby planet, get married, spend the weekend there and come back. I don't know why you are always saying no. Wait, what did you say? I am so used to hearing no from you that I thought you said it when you said yes. I nodded. I will agree to us getting married in secret. I don't even want Zeb B and Graham knowing. Jake's lips inched up at the sides. I know what is more satisfying. You agreeing to marry me, albeit in secret, or the fact you want to keep it from Graham. I think Graham not knowing is the cherry on top of our wedding cake, but I wish we could do it sooner. I am afraid you are going to change your mind. I am not going to change my mind. Adam and Josh showed me the error of my ways. I am not sure what to do about the rings though. I am thinking about maybe tattoos or wearing them around our necks. And what do the other kids in the family call you since it is supposed to be a secret wedding? And how do we handle if want to adopt Charlie and Spencer? Do we have to declare any of this to the Freedom Alliance or IIB? What we do is our business, isn't it? I say we do what we want to do, and we don't tell anyone else. I just got you to agree to marry me. I am not going to allow other people to dictate what we do with our lives. I agree, so let's just play this by ear. We will handle whatever comes our way. As for the ring situation, I saw these rings on Umbrella 8 that you touch, and they turn invisible. We can wear them visible in the quarters and invisible everywhere else. Great idea. Umbrella 8 is not that far from our present location, so let's travel there after the case and get married. Let's get this case over with. I can't wait to marry you. We will tell the kids after we get married, I think, because it will be suspicious if we take the entire family to Umbrella 8. That planet is not exactly kid-friendly. The universe's version of Las Vegas and Amsterdam combined. Just then my Quan pad chimed. I lifted the Quan pad off the nightstand and noticed the uncoded information Fireball sent me. Jake continued to talk, but I was engrossed in the information. Wow, could this be true? Could it really be true? Because if it was, it would take this case in a whole new direction. I sent the information over to Jake and asked, "Do you think this is possible?" He studied the file I sent him. He looked over at me. If this is right, and I am not saying it isn't, if this is right, we have been looking in the wrong direction. I don't know what made me believe that, but I know that I believed it wholeheartedly. Maybe the proof is somewhere in there, but if this is true, heaven help these people, because busted hand or not, I am going after them. How dare they do this? I am right there with you on this. Just then Chip announced, "Major Riley, Bernadette Riley is on the phone for you." "Put her through," Jake said, giving me a troubled look. "Okay, we are getting you out of there," a feminine voice said that sounded like fingernails on a chalkboard to me. "You are coming home, so I can take care of you. You and Zariah are coming to live with me. Kassidy has done nothing but get you into trouble. You know she married someone else while you were missing, and she had him killed. Did you know that? She is pure evil. I am a grown man, mother. I am not coming home to you, and either is Zariah. And you say one more bad word about Zariah's mother, and I will cut you off. There will be no communication with me or Zariah if you continue this little tirade." She has definitely brainwashed you into believing that I am in the wrong, she continued, sniffling. All I was trying to do was protect you and Zariah from her, and, in between hysterical sobs, now she has convinced you that I was trying to break you and her up. Isn't that we just admitted to when you said, Kassidy has done nothing but get you into trouble? She did not have me abducted. She did not kill her husband. This disease did that. Wake up, son. She created this disease. She has caused all these deaths. So, who told you that? He pressed, looking up at the ceiling. The members of the island committee? Stefan? Philippe? Who are these people you are talking about? They are the people spilling the same garbage as you. She has worked tirelessly to cure this disease, but go ahead and believe what you want, but I am not going to associate with you anymore. You are no longer welcome to contact me or my daughter. They said they were going to kill her, that they were going to take care of her, but no, she is alive and well and ruin you and Zariah's lives. That is unacceptable. She has got you brainwashed into believing that she is the golden child, and I am dirt under your shoe. Snap out of it, Jacob Aaron Riley. You say you are an adult, but you are not thinking with your brain. She is trouble. Who is they? Who was going to take care of her? Killing people is illegal, and the fact you know about a plot to commit murder means you could be facing charges as well. You would not bring up charges against your own mother? Not for doing what is best for you. It is best that you are not involved with that person, and there is no they. No murder was committed, and I was not involved. You are backtracking, but either way, I disown you as my mother because what you have done, and that way you want to treat Danny, Zariah and me is beyond horrendous. You are not doing what is best for any of us. You hate Danny. You always have for no apparent reason, and I guarantee you if I find there was a plot to kill Danny, I am coming after you as an accessory to the crime, and for withholding evidence. Don't you see what she is doing to you? You would not have been captured if it wasn't for her. You would not be a Freedom Alliance doctor if it weren't for her. You would have opened your own practice and became a well-renowned surgeon, making a lot of money. And you wouldn't be saddled with a child if it weren't for her. She trapped you. She wanted you to marry her. Jake laughed. I have been trying to get her to marry me for years. She refused. She had nothing to do with me being captured or me becoming a Freedom Alliance doctor. I wanted to do the most good, and that was in the Freedom Alliance. The fact you are my mother and don't know me at all says more about you than me or her. She is white trash, Jacob. Trash. She grew up in foster care. Her parents did not want her. They raised the other three. They took one look at her ugliness and left her to be raised by strangers. Wake up. She is no good for you. I'm done. We are done. Don't contact any of us again. You don't have any right to cut me off from my granddaughter. You no longer have me as a son, so you no longer have a granddaughter. Goodbye, he yelled and disconnected the call. You didn't have to do that. You and Zariah can have a relationship with her. Now she is going to fight us for custody of Zariah and try to have all the other children taken out of my custody. He shook his head. I don't think so, but it is clear from that conversation someone intended to kill you, and she knew about it. Also, the fact she is playing the same angle they are about you creating this disease makes me wonder if my mother is involved with all of this. But why would she be? Her only motive has been to break us up and take our kid. Do you think she would harm Zariah? I don't know anymore. She doesn't even know me or why I am who I am, and she wants to blame everyone but herself for all of this. I don't know how she is involved, but I know she is. Let's hit up our contacts. We spent the rest of the night talking to our contacts. What we have discovered is that the computer voice that is identical for both the breakup recording and the threatening voice is only used by only a handful of people involved in an influential group on Kilo 8 that involve the Island Committee. Nate started, looking around the room. He and the other members of our Clue Club appeared on Jake and my terminal that had been set up in between our two beds. That's not all. We traced the breakup recording to a terminal on Kilo 8's University Library. Jessa advised as Jake and I looked at each other. Could it be Cassia? Jake wondered, catching my eye. She did hit on me while we were there. I answered, shrugging. She was joking, but who knows? She did have a major crush on you back in the day. I find it hard to believe she did this. She has been my friend for ages. She has always been loyal. However, do you really ever know anyone? I would hope that you could trust all of us, Zeb B countered, tilting her head to the side to give me an once-over. You look tired. When we are done with this call, you want to talk about it? Jake and I exchanged an amused look. I returned, it's nothing. We are just recovering. After a silence, Tony said, we have information about the think tank. Do you know who was in the think tank beside your parents? Tony questioned, raising his eyebrows. I knew he found the person, or people intriguing. We know that your parents were in the think tank, but were you aware that Bernadette Washington Riley was in it as well? My mother, Jake screamed, exchanging a troubled look with me. She was a part of this think tank. If she was a part of it, why wasn't she taken captive? Or, that is a good question, Alex agreed. However, what we discovered is that the top secret project is that they were trying to create a self-sustainable environment like the Biosphere Project in Arizona on Earth. They were using Kilo 8 as their test planet as the planet was otherwise uninhabitable for human life. However, when they constructed the dome that took up most of the small planet, they did not take into account the current inhabitants of the planet. The current inhabitants waged war against the humans. Were they mad enough to kill them? I inquired, leaning back on my pillows. Mad enough to create a disease to wipe the humans out? Mad enough to hold the humans they met captive, and play mind games with them? We don't quite have enough evidence to say conclusively, Tony admitted. His once smiling face turned into a frown. I think the evidence is in the information on the chip I found of my research on the planet. I had Fireball decoded for me, but I have not had enough time to search it for the cure. But from what I have seen, I seem to think that the Island Committee was actually puppets of someone else. Who? They asked in unison. I don't know, I just know that I referred to them as the Oracle. I know the cure is in that information. I know I had it. I don't remember what it was, only that I had the cure. That's exciting, Alex remarked, twirling her hair around her finger, that we know there is a cure. I don't like that my mother is involved, Jake mentioned, rubbing his neck, because anywhere she is, that wicked stepfather is, and this kind of thing is right up his alley. He is powerful enough in many governments to cause this ripple effect. Your stepfather, Tony pressed, catching his eye. My stepfather is Wolfgang Barton. I pounded my hand against the sheets of my bed. Alfan Barton. Of course, what? Questioned Jake. The Island Committee members would get scared when Alfan Barton would visit. I am guessing that it might be Wolfgang Barton. Why would my stepfather and mother be involved outside of the think tank? I don't know, but I almost guarantee he was involved. I don't know how I know, but I know. Then suddenly I heard someone whisper in my ear, you should have ran while you had the chance. This is no place for a smart, pretty girl like you. Now I have to take things into my own hands. Then I felt a prick. I looked around, but no one was there. I felt panic rush over me. Hey, you okay? Jake ventured, reaching his hand across the aisle between his bed and mine. You seem a bit startled. I moved my eyes around the room maniacally, feeling a strong presence all around me. I suddenly started speaking in another language, one that I heard spoken on Kilo 8 while in captivity. I started to scream what I knew, how I knew I didn't know, translated to, Alfan, show yourself, repeatedly. The Clue Club looked at me as though I said I was going to jump off a cliff. They exchanged troubled looks with each other while Jake called over his comm let for Dr. Weinhardt. Just as the doors slid open to reveal Dr. Weinhardt, a person with thick dark hair and darker skin than me but not as dark as Jake, with a rugged jaw and cold black eyes, dressed in a cappuccino-colored jumpsuit, appeared out of thin air. Jake studied this man and said with grave deliberation, what the actual hell? How did you just appear here? And why are you here? To freakin' torture me more? The man and I exchanged words in the language, most of which I knew instinctively. Why are here? I repeated what Jake had said. And what does your wife have to do with all of this? It is one thing for her not to like me, but if she or you touch any of these people or my children, I swear I will come after you both with a vengeance you have never seen the likes of. He laughed hysterically. You think you are in charge here? I think this is my vessel. I think that you step, or appear, on my vessel, you follow my rules. He laughed again. You are in no condition to rule this vessel. Nevertheless, fight me. I am stronger, faster and smarter than you ever will be. I felt anger rip through me. I yanked the intravenous drip line from my arm and lunged at him. Say that again. Gladly, he decided, then repeated what he said. I am going to end you and that ungrateful stepson of mine. He produced a syringe. I knew by looking at it what was in it. I am going to do us all a favor. We are going to raise Zariah. The hell you are, I countered, pushing him against the wall. I jumped off the bed and in a roundhouse kick, knocked the syringe out of his hand. It went flying, and Dr. Weinhardt caught it in one hand. I don't know how you just appeared in here, but you are not welcome here. You are not in charge. I think I am. I know the cure, and I know how this all started, and I know that. You know nothing. You want to take that chance because I know the disease was no accident. I know that it was used to kill the humans that invaded your planet. I know that the cure is a drug I created.
If you would like to learn more about Anna Gale or to purchase her fiction and nonfiction books, go to AnnaGaleLines.com. That is AnnaGaleLines.com. Right now you can buy 3 ebooks and get the 4th one free. There you can sign up for the newsletter to keep up to date on what is happening in the world of the Anna Gale Lines podcast, where she inspires people to take control of their lives, and her science fiction podcast, the Space-Tastic Mysteries podcast. To follow her on social media, it is Anna Gale Lines on Twitter, Lady Anna Gale on TikTok, Anna Gale Lines Artist on Instagram, at the Anna Gale Lines podcast on YouTube. You can join the Facebook page at Author Anna Gale. Thank you for listening and thank you for being you.